challenges in 2023 which India faces right now. First, of course, comes from China. It's in our neighborhood. We don't choose our neighbors. Sadly, China is our neighbor. We tried for a very long time, starting from we were the first non-communist country to give recognition to the People's Republic of China, But then what really happened? 1962 happened. Even before 1962, things were churning. After that also we still thought, let's cooperate, because cooperation is the way to go forward, and we are both developing countries. We share similar challenges. We have climate change issues. We have this huge, humongous population. We have inequalities. We have poverty. Let's deal with these together. But at every single juncture, 1962 was not the first and the last military conflict we had with China. 62, 67, well, in 71, even though China didn't really enter the war, but it was supporting Pakistan. And beyond that, things have happened. 1987 has happened. More recently, Doklam Galwan, all of these have happened. So I think the message is very clear from China that at best it would want India as a subordinate partner. India doesn't want to be a subordinate partner. We also have our worldview, and we also think there should be some time when we are also acknowledged as a major player in international politics. Dealing with the China challenge is a huge problem. I'll give you just one thing which has happened very recently, sir, since you've been a journalist. Two of our journalists were in China for a very long time. Anand Krishnan, who has been reporting for The Hindu for ages now, his visa got cancelled, along with another, I think he was from PTI, his visa got cancelled. Why did their visas get cancelled? What is this weaponization of visas which is happening? If we are talking about cooperation and understanding each other, if our journalists don't go there and really understand, how is cooperation going to really happen? The visas got cancelled. A few days ago, Modi went and met Biden, and the Chinese media started churning out articles as to how India-US partnership should not happen, and all sorts of malicious things about India. I think the message is really clear. It wants us only as a subordinate partner. What does it do to make us a subordinate partner? Military conflict is of course there. Economic conflict is there. For more than a decade, we've had a trade deficit with China. We keep talking to them again and again, saying that address the trade deficit. Why don't you? तो करते क्या है वो? हम जब बात करते हैं, सर बड़ा मजाकिया सा है. They say ठीक है, we will address your trade deficit. We will import more. अच्छा import more तो बोल दिया. अब जब बासमती चावल जो इंडिया का स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉइंट है, अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड इंडिया इज नोन फॉर बासमती, हम कहते हैं ठीक है हम बासमती एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं आपको, तो वो एक फिक्टिशियस सा लिस्ट लेके आते हैं, एंड दे से दैट योर चावल माइट हैव दीज 10 पेस्ट. अब मज़े की बात ये है कि वो 10 पेस्ट में से 7 चाइना में मिलते हैं, इंडिया में नहीं है. ये है मजाक की बात. और वो इम्पोर्ट करेंगे पाकिस्तान से, विच इज़ नॉट द लीडर इन प्रोडक्शन ऑफ बासमती राइस. First. Second, I mentioned generic drugs, and we are very good, even in the US, when there is access needed to cheap drugs, it would be Indian drugs. अगर democratic country जहाँ पे बड़ा bureaucracy होता है, वहाँ पे permission मिल जाती है कि Indian medicines docks पे ports पे आ गए, let's clear the hurdles, let's get it in. वहाँ हो जाता है. ये तो एक communist सरकार है where things should be even faster. Our medicines keep languishing at the ports for months. What do you think? दवाइयों को होता क्या है? मेरे घर में बच्चे हैं तो मुझे और थोड़ा ज़्यादा पता है. दवाइयाँ 3 महीने बाद ना एक्सपायर हो जाती है, स्पेशली अगर छोटे बच्चों के. तो अगर हमारे वो पोर्ट्स पे सड़ रहे हैं, these are not tariff barriers. So this is how our imports never really make it. I've spent years in China, and I think I just saw one agarbatti ka packet in China, which was Indian in origin. But so trade deficit भी है. Okay. Beyond this, there is cyber warfare which is happening, and the youngsters would know more about the cyber world that we are living in. We banned TikTok. Why? Because Douyin, जो उनका parent company है, that has different algorithms for the app in China and elsewhere. What had happened when Galwan, happened on the day that 20 of our soldiers got martyred? उसी के साथ on the same day there were 45,000 cyber hacking attempts from which got traced back to China. So the cybersphere is very important. China has this technique called 1000 greens technique, जहाँ पे वो cyber space use करके information खींचेगा, and they will do that more so in the very sensitive areas. Okay, cyber challenges are also there. Then, given the fact that my heart belongs to the Northeast, this is an issue which is not really talked about very often. There's Bertil Lintner, who's written a very brilliant book, China's Great Game East, and he talks about how secessionists from Northeast India have received refuge in parts of China along with arms and ammunition. So there's a very active training which is going on. Paresh Barua of Ulfa in Assam is still in Yunnan. We keep talking about that to China, they stonewall. They don't really give us an answer. That is there. Coming to Pakistan, we don't share historical, pichla session bada hi acha tha, and it was about partition, etc. Sadly enough, history has placed us in a situation wherein India doesn't have a very good relationship with Pakistan. Okay, अब है क्या करें, international politics ऐसा ही होता है. Okay, sad, but this is a fact. What does China do? China has an all-weather friendship with Pakistan. अब जब 1962 हुआ, उसके तुरंत बाद 1963 में पाकिस्तान, just to portray that it wants good relations with China, उसने किया क्या, हमारा जो disputed territory है with Pakistan, उसमें से सक्शगाम वैली को barter कर दिया, just gave it off to China, just to show that we want to be friends with the Chinese. And what does China gain out of Pakistan? Its economy is in shambles. Also, its economy is in shambles because of China, but Pakistan would not want to move away because enemy's enemy is friend, So what really does China do? I'll give you just one example from last year, one from this year. So United Nations Security Council mein, there is the 1267 committee which blacklists all international terrorists so that the terrorists cannot receive funding from any particular country. His or her international movements get restricted. Last year, हमने 5 बारी कोशिश किया at this 1267 committee to block 5 Pakistan-based terrorists. Each and every single time, China said technical hold है. क्या है technical hold? आप तो explain तो कर दीजिए, बता तो दीजिए. There is no clarity. This year again, just 2 weeks ago, we tried again to list a Pakistani-based terrorist at the 1267 committee because we are at the receiving end of these state-sponsored terrorism. China blocked again. So there is an active collusion between China and Pakistan. So China remains a huge problem. Pakistan remains a problem, but we've had a sort of experience in dealing with that. But China keeps coming up with newer and newer challenges. Third problem, and I'll probably end it here and then we can take more questions. Is this very difficult relationship we have with both US and Russia. अब हुआ क्या? Modi ji gaye, he met Biden and okay, excellent, and a lot of agreements have been signed and we'll be getting a lot of defense equipment, etc., which we need because we are in a conflict with China. We have to secure our borders. We have to safeguard our sovereignty. That has happened. We are also collaborating in something called rare earth metals, which is very important for green technology. And since we are sitting in Uttarakhand, this is a perfect stage to talk about this. We'll also be collaborating on rare earth materials and mining, etc. ये हो गया. So Biden spoke very highly of India and Narendra Modi, etc. अब बस कल ही Vladimir Putin also said that India is great, and India ने Make in India जैसा किया, हम भी ऐसा सीखना चाहते हैं. So here we are. What do we do now? Russia is a friend historically. वो जब 1971 हो रहा था, US was supporting Pakistan. India did a SOS call to USSR, and there was a USSR submarine which came to India's rescue. So historically, we've got great relations. But we are in 2023. Russia and Pakistan are also friends. Russia and China have a friendship with no limits, which they declared last year. When Galwan, when Doklam, whatever happened, Russia made no statement. We cannot expect Russia to come to our rescue, to our aid. It's problematic. Can we rely on US then? Will the US come to our rescue? US तो Ukraine तक में अपने boots नहीं डाले. So can we really trust them? Well, we've had a very neutral stance with the US. But given the fact that US के साथ हमारा sovereignty related dispute नहीं है, China के साथ है, and US का भी दुश्मन China ही है. So again, Cautillia's theory, दोस्त का दोस्त दोस्त, दोस्त का दुश्मन दुश्मन. That might work. Also, the US is pretty much more advanced in scientific engineering or the scientific aspects. So collaborating, people-to-people contacts, those sorts of things might really help. But it's a very tricky balance for India to maintain between Russia and the US. This is something we'll have to constantly keep working upon. Sadly enough, I don't see the war in Ukraine coming to an end anytime soon. It's become a protracted conflict. So it's going to produce a lot of foreign policy challenges for us.